Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our classes with physical education syllabus of class plus 2, and in our first class today we will discuss the first unit, planning in sports. In today's class we will cover two topics. The first one is meaning and objectives of planning. This topic is about how to organize a tournament, and second one is various committees and responsibilities. Basically, the second topic is also part of first topic because it is very important to have committees and its responsibilities for successful organization. Let's begin with the first topic, meaning of planning. As you can understand by the dictionary meaning of word planning, it means to plan for something. And here in physical education and sports, we are talking about organizing a sports tournament. So here we can say planning is a process of development of a strategy to achieve desired objectives, to solve problems and to facilitate action. It can also be said planning is a process of making a sequence of work for future line of action. Ultimately, planning is preparing points and making notes to successfully organize a sports tournament. Its objectives. The objectives of planning are many, but here we can discuss few of them to make you understand what are the objectives of planning. The first objective is enhance the sports performance. If a specific tournament is well organized, well planned, the players can perform better. If they got all the facilities and infrastructure at place, the performance of the players is for sure going to be better. This is one of the objectives of planning. Second objective can be to keep good control over all the activities. To control multiple activities, multiple things happening, multiple people working on same time at different tasks and keeping all the activities in control, we need planning. And this is another objective of planning. The third objective is to facilitate proper coordination. If all the different group of peoples are working together on same time on different tasks, as we discussed in the second objective, for better coordination among them, we need to plan and we need to discuss the specific responsibilities, and planning will help us in better coordination. Next objective is to reduce the chances of mistake. If everything is pre-planned, pre-decided, pre-discussed, every member who's taking part in organizing a specific tournament, they are clear about their responsibilities and duties, and they know what they have to do at what time, how they have to respond, in which situation they have to do what. If they are clear about their instructions, there will be very less chances of mistakes. This is one of the very big objective of planning, so that there are no mistakes in organizing the tournament. Next objective can be increase the efficiency of work. Efficiency of work is increased if someone is aware about what are his specific duties, not to do anything beyond that and not to do anything less than that. If I say that a specific group of people are requested or they're supposed to do specific tasks, they will stick to that. They will not go beyond those instructions, and with such distribution of work, efficiency of people will increase. These are few of the objectives. There are many more objectives of tournaments which you can add on. Next is various committees. Now, to organize any sports tournament, we need manpower, and that manpower is divided in specific task based committees. Every committee is responsible for a specific task, a specific duty with specific responsibility. So, dividing people in different groups is committees basically. So, how many committees and which committees are required for tournaments, organizing tournament, there are many committees according to the type and level of the tournament. We cannot have same committees for Olympics as well as inter-house or intramural tournament. There will be different committees. So the factors which affect committees is level of tournament and number of participants and duration of the tournament, and all such factors come into place. So let's discuss few of the committees. The first is organizing committee. This is the main group of people who look after the committees which are planned for various tasks. All the committees used to respond or report to this particular main organizing committee. They are the responsible ones for organizing the tournament. Another committees for every specific task used to report to this committee. And what other committees are there? Next is finance committee. Finance committee, as you can understand by the word, finance is related with all the budgeting, finances, purchasing, and reporting of those expenses to organizing committee. Publicity committee is also a very important committee. It works to publicize the organizing of this tournament, to make people aware about that specific tournament is going to take place in future. Publicity take place before and during the tournament, to make people aware about that such and such tournament is going to take place. Technical committee. Technical committee is responsible for all the equipments, officials, and its concerned preparations for successful organization of that tournament. Next is reception committee. Reception committee is main host committee. Whenever anybody coming got any doubt, any query, any questions, they can contact reception committee. The main role of reception committee is to provide information to the host, to the committees, to the participants, to all different members of that particular tournament. Reception committee used to provide information related to anything. Next is accommodation committee. This committee is responsible for providing accommodation to the teams who require that. Outstation teams, if someone is coming from outstation, they need accommodation, then they will be provided accommodation, and all the things will be looked after by accommodation committee. Transport committee will be looking after the transportations for picking and dropping of teams to railway stations or airports, or for local sightseeing. For any purpose, if transport is required, transport committee will look after that. Refreshment committee. Now that refreshment committee is related with accommodation committee also. Refreshment committee will provide food also. They will provide refreshment to officials, to the players, to the support staff, to the volunteers, to the medical staff, first aid. Refreshment is provided to everybody, and all such refreshment will be looked after by refreshment committee. Next is purchase committee. It is under finance committee. They will be purchasing the stuff and giving report to the finance committee. Next is award and prize committee. Award and prize distribution is for sure going to take place at the end of the tournament, but purchasing and preparing and maintaining all those will take place initially in the beginning. So these are few of the committees. There are many more you can add as per the tournament. Let's move on. Now these are few responsibilities pre, during, and post the tournament. Before the tournament there are many responsibilities. During the tournament there are many responsibilities. Post tournament the responsibilities reduces obviously, as the tournament already ended. So let's discuss pre-tournament. The first and the most important thing which we discussed during committees also is publicity. Publicity must be done before the tournament so that spectators can come. People must be aware about that this particular tournament is taking place. Next is marking committee. Now this marking committee is to prepare the grounds, the fields for the tournament. If the grounds or the courts or the fields are not marked, organization or conducting the matches is not possible. Next is finance committee. Finance committee, the biggest task, as I told you, is budgeting, making the arrangement of finances as per requirement. The transport committee, to be prepared before the tournament. Transport committee before the tournament will be working on preparation part. During preparation also transport is required. So that committee is in action before the tournament as well. Food and accommodation committee. Before the tournament, food and accommodation to be provided to the support staff and to the member of committees. During the tournament, the same committee will be working for teams as well. Reception committee, this is again the main committee which will coordinate with different people, different committees. It is kind of control room where informations will be supplied. Next is committee for officials. Officials will prepare the list of teams, they will prepare for the tournament, they will make fixtures, they will plan the whole schedule of matches and put officials on duty to conduct those matches. That is the responsibility of officials committee. Next is ground and equipment committee. Ground and equipment committee is responsible to provide the specific equipments and to keep the grounds ready. First aid committee is very important before the tournament, because first aid supposed to be prepared before the tournament. Initially it will help the committee members if required, otherwise during the tournament it will be helping the players. Organizing committee is always in action, before also, during also and post also, as it is the main committee where all the committees are reporting. During the tournament, food and accommodation committee come into place for teams, as they are the main focus of the tournaments. Ground and equipment committee will be providing balls or equipments during the tournament when and as required. Program committee will be giving schedule of matches, providing all the information to the participating teams, coaches and managers, so that they can reach the venue on time, they must not be late, and schedule can be followed properly. First aid committee will be helping or supporting any injury if take place during the tournament. Next is decoration committee. This particular committee will look after the decoration part of the venue, maybe before the prize distribution function, you can say, or otherwise also decorating the grounds for hosting the tournament is always required, and this particular committee will look after that. Technical committee, as I told you, will be looking after all the officials, rules, regulations, any complaints, any objections. If someone is not satisfied with officiating, they can complain. All such organizing or officiating related issues can be looked after by technical committee. Now, committee for officials is basically focused on conduct of matches during this phase. Their duty is to conduct the matches and prepare the results. Then prize distribution committee will be at the end, held responsible for organizing the prize distribution function. After the tournament, there are not many responsibilities, but there are few like record committee, which will be maintaining all the record of the tournament, that how many teams took place and all the results will be recorded, all the result sheets will be filed, and all such record and papers and files will be recorded by this committee. Then finance committee will look after all the expenses took place, whether they were as per planning or not, as per finances or not. And last, report committee will make a report summary of the whole tournament, and it will be given to the organizing committee. Thank you, students. This was all about first to